Update on the brick lady. She just made it worse on herself.
Harris County prosecutor Keith Houston says surveillance videos from that early September morning show Osman hitting a man first.
Oh, you already know we nosy as on this side.
And he hit me with a brick aggressively. He didn't cut the skin or break no bones, but he hit me, man.
They try to leave me for dead.
Okay, just to sum it up, it looks like she lied.
So she's the one she was the aggressor.
She was the aggressor, yeah.
My pockets are extra deep for people like you who are real victims of senseless violence. Here you go, is that enough? Yeah, bitch, I'm gonna get a BBL.
Prosecutors allege theft by deception on
The violence that I have suffered since September 30th is just unbelievable. I can't even believe I'm here.
And she ain't got no gashes, broken bones, or blunt force trauma. And then she got a history of domestic violence and scamming. Let's look into this just a little bit more.
I'll just say you hate black women and get it over with.
And it was a water bottle that hit her, not a brick?
He did have a water bottle in his hand, and we think that's what left the mark.
But as the story went viral, a blogger on TikTok called police, alerting them to this 2020 GoFundMe, which claimed a vicious assault by a security guard in Minneapolis.
Detective Thornton verified with Minneapolis police that there was no assault done at that time. It was completely fictional.
And tonight, a spokesperson for GoFundMe telling KPRC2 GoFundMe has zero tolerance for the misuse of our platform. Tonight, she is wanted here in Harris County on that theft charge. Anyone with information on her whereabouts can report that to Houston Police.
Check out our other episode about this.
I'll make sure it's in somewhere up here and in the comments.
We got to go back to this because they said it was a scam.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna hold you. It seems scammy to me from jump.
From jump.
I
mean, okay, y'all. She said she got hit in the head with a brick. And I'm like, where's the blood?
Like there's no cut, there's contusion, no bruising, no nothing with a brick. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how violence works.
Yeah, so when I first saw that, I'm like, I mean, anything is possible, but I was like, all right. Where's the blood? You get hit in the head with a brick, it's cutting.
Facts.
Okay, it's cutting something.
Yeah.
Bricks are sharp. So off the break, it was like, okay. But black women to a black woman, you want to support black women, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But now it's come out that it's all a scam. She's got what, 40 grand, babe?
40 plus. It's like 42.
40 plus grand from people who donated to her GoFundMe. And I'm sure y'all have heard the story.
She took the money and went to Jamaica.
She took the money and went to Jamaica. But y'all gave her the money.
Facts. Ouch. 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 Actually, she's being investigated that she defrauded by deception. That's the charge.
That is a charge.
And she said she's supposed to turn herself in and then didn't. And now she's on the run.
Wow. Okay. So my question is, I'm all about supporting black women, black people, good people. Right?
And real quick. We still do. Violence against black women is a real prevalent thing. It really happens. And I don't want the Carly Russells or the Rhodas of the world to dissuade the conversation from actual black women who are victims daily.
Yes.
Like that's period, point blank, period.
Yes.
However, this stuff has an effect on that stuff.
And I think to what you just said, babe, and everything he said was true. We fully support black women. We do not support violence against anyone.
Any woman.
Black women, white women, anybody. Any woman or any person. But it's shit like this that makes it hard for people to support.
Absolutely.
The real women who are victimized.
Absolutely. That is a big problem.
That is the problem
That's a big problem.
Because it's already like, wait, where's the support for black women, right? And then when you do, people pull stuff like this sometimes. And I'm not saying that's across the board.
No.
But what I'm saying is, how do you then turn around and support?
It's the problem with the loud minority. You understand what I'm saying? It's not a lot of people out here doing this. But it feels like there's a lot of people out here doing this type of scam work and who puts other black women who are not scamming, who are actually victims, on trial.
This one person with this one black woman scammed. And so now that title is put on a lot of black women.
Yeah.
That's the problem, because we're not given the people who are truly innocent and victimized, they aren't given the grace to actually be truly innocent and victimized because this one person messed it up.
But not this one person. It's a thought process that's prevalent throughout all of our culture on the whole, and that is believe all women. It's a really, really bad idea to believe all of anybody, of anything at all, because evidence is a thing. And there's a lot of people out here still cheering for Rhoda, saying, no, she was really assaulted. Factually, she wasn't.
Well,
at least not in the way that she described.
Not the way that she could describe, because he did hit her in the head with a water bottle. But that, according to the reports, that's after she attacked him.
I mean,
some people will say no matter what happens, you're not supposed to put your hands on a woman.
I don't believe that at all. I believe at the end of the day, if you feel like you need to protect yourself, that's what you need to do. Now, you could have been throwing a water bottle to antagonize a person. I don't know. But here's what I do know. She did not get hit in the face with a brick.
Only a water bottle.
Even her friend testified that she didn't believe she got hit in the face with a brick. So Shorty's out there just living it up off donations from the community. That's the part. From the community who said, no, we're not going to let our sister go out like that. And she took advantage. And that's sad. That is a sad, sad thing. Because now those same people are not going to be as willing to give the next time somebody who really could use the help needs the help and reaches out for it. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, that's the situation we find ourselves in. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, it caused a lot of other issues. Like, she threw black men under the bus, and it really brings to light how bad the community is ready to believe the BS about black men real fast. It really showed, okay, you just believed that whatever she said. Now, the believe all women thing, I don't know, because it has ripples. It has ripples. I don't think you should believe all women. I don't think you should believe all men. I don't think you should believe all anything, because that's believe
all people.
That's just not a good idea.
That's just not a good thing.
It's just not a good thing. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. That's why we have evidence. If we were just to believe all victims of all anything, why have a court system? Why have, I don't know. It feels real awkward, man. It feels real awkward.
I mean, and I hear what you're saying. I think when you have a group of people that are just silenced, mm-hmm. right? Like black women, I think that's where a lot of that support and that comes from.
I get it.
You know,
I understand.
because we got to think about even beyond black women, women weren't given a lot of the same rights that men were. When we were, it still was in many ways to silence women.
Agreed.
And so, am I mad at the people who supported her and gave money? No. But I think either way, you're going to stand up for what you believe. Right? If your cause is supporting black women, you support black women. And that's not going to change necessarily based on one woman's scam. If your cause is supporting breast cancer, you're going to support breast cancer.
Yeah, but if everybody you supported who had breast cancer, didn't survive their bout with breast cancer, you can't say also that person wouldn't feel a hit to that and that wouldn't chip away at it, that eventually they might. And that's the problem with this. It chips away at the integrity. Even if it's only a piece, you get enough of these pieces together, and now you got a whole chunk gone. You get enough chunks gone, and now you're missing whole vast pieces. And that's the problem, is that the integrity is compromised. Now, I hear you, and I agree that if you truly believe in what you believe, then it shouldn't change anything. And right. I don't think that we should stop or edit our thought process around protection on women. But I do think it affects the way we view or see the protection around women and the perpetrators who are visiting violence against those women. So now,
I guess it depends on who you are.
Yes, it
because
really does.
For someone who truly believes in supporting Black women, you're like, well, this was one scam. I still believe in our women and I'm standing up for them. For
True.
someone who believes in dogging Black men,
yeah,
you could say, okay, well, maybe he didn't do it, but he still hit her with a water bottle. And there are
right.
Black men out there that's doing this
That's still
every
doing
day,
this
even
every
if
day.
they didn't do it to her.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the point is, what I'm trying to say is that you kind of really need, yes, believe what you believe, but know that nothing is 100%.
Yeah.
No matter what you
That's
believe,
good.
nothing is
That's good.
100%.
That's
You
good.
still,
That's
it's
good.
still a balancing act, whether you believe it or not.
Come on.
Right?
Let's go.
Okay, you believe in supporting Black women. I do too. Great. But it's still it's still a balancing act as far as what you put. I'm not giving her money.
Yeah. She didn't get a dime.
And I wasn't planning to.
She didn't get a dime.
But that doesn't mean I don't support Black women
Facts.
just because I didn't give her money. I choose, because I didn't believe her story from day one.
How could you?
But I would choose to give my money to someone else. Like my coworker who started a business selling sweatshirts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to buy a sweatshirt from her. It's the same support.
It's the
it's
same
just
support.
how you support is different. That's up to you. But that's the thing. You can believe what you want, but you have to be balanced. And I think when we become too swayed that whatever we believe can't be wrong or can't be, because you could support breast cancer, sure, but there's still some doctors who cut off some women's breasts that they need to be cut off.
Ooh, that is the truth.
And that's the truth. So I hate to admit that, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. So there's a part of you that still needs to have some reason and some balance with what you're supporting and how you support it.
Yeah. It happened to my mom. I mean, she went into the hospital for a reason, came out with a pacemaker, had it for 15 years? Mm-hmm. Didn't need it at all. It was an insurance play. And they did it because they knew they could get away with it on this Black woman. Mm-hmm. It happens. Mm-hmm. And so Black women are legitimately victimized daily. So first and foremost, that happens.
That happens.
But when you have this type of person who's just making up stuff for the sake of it, that's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a problem, and it's a problem that we as a community both need to accept and address, as well as push past so that the victims who are actual victims aren't left in the wake. That's the real issue here. Black men getting thrown under the bus, for as much as that sucks, we used to it. It's kind of been happening. Black women being thrown under the bus and left out in the cold. It sucks, but it's been happening. For some reason, we are used to it. But as a community, we don't have to continue being used to it for our individual selves, especially if we come together and link and work together to make sure that both sides are represented well and protected well. Man, we'd have a way stronger community, even when those of us in our community are doing dumb shit like this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because if we all collectively said, let's take a beat, let's really think about what's going on here, and let's make sure that we have all the facts before we come to any real conclusions, a lot of the vitriol behind the story could have been adjudicated early on. Mm-hmm. We could have said, wait, you got hit in the face with a brick and don't have a single cut on your face? Not one? But you had that big old bump? Was the brick wrapped in plastic wrap? I don't understand how I don't understand how that happened.
But not everybody would know that. Not everybody would know that. And not everybody would,
maybe not, but maybe we could have all taken a minute and accepted that new information. Even if you didn't know that going in. Maybe you would have heard somebody say it and not thought to get defensive because he looked like me when he said it. Mm. Maybe he looked like me and the first thing when he said that you thought was, oh, you're just a misogynist. Maybe. Or maybe if you get hit with a brick, that's not what happens. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I can see if I got hit in the face with a boxing glove by a heavyweight champion and my face looked like that. Yes, that makes perfect. Mm-hmm. He punched me and I got this. I can accept that. A brick? I don't know, fam. That feels far-fetched.
So I know you talked about the impact, a little bit about the impact that this has on the community. So where does this leave us as Black people? Like where do we
Ooh, this is good.
where do we stand now that we know what we know? Because I think people are disappointed. Some people aren't surprised. I mean, it's a mixed bag of emotions, I'm sure. You know, some people are mad because they probably donate and they're like, I can't believe it and see this wine. And other people are like, well.
And chances are they're not getting their money back.
Nah, you're not getting your money back, right?
They're going to sue her for it and they're not going to get it back.
Right. But where does this leave us as Black people?
Here's my problem with the scenario that we've got going on. And it leaves us in the same exact position we were before. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem. It leaves us in the exact same position we were before.
Yeah.
Caught in the loop. Because on top of everything else, the algorithms that work our social media platforms work on outrage.
Yeah.
They work on anger media. So like as we're angry, oh yeah, it's pushing that out. It's great. Mm-hmm. But here's the problem. It can push it out all day.
Yeah.
But what is it pushing out?
Right.
It's pushing out the guy who's the most angry. It's
right.
pushing out the woman who's the most angry,
right.
saying the most wild things. Those are the ones that are getting the clicks and the likes and the views mm-hmm. and getting spread. So the woman who believes she was hit in the face with a brick and now is scared to leave her house for fear of being attacked and assaulted in that way, I completely understand her fear, because on top of everything else, our social media platforms reinforce it. And they reinforce it. It's hard to back that up. So as a community, we have to collectively decide how we should adjudicate these matters. How should we adjudicate a Carly Russell situation where you saw a baby on the highway? You saw a what on the what? How do we adjudicate those things that are outside of the social media bubble? Mm-hmm. The problem is, ain't too many people outside the social media bubble no more.
Right, that part.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
It leaves us right where we are.
We are, yeah. Yeah.
Immobile, stuck in the quicksand and not being able to get our way out. Right. So that's why it matters what we say. It matters what we say. It matters what we think. It matters what we do. It matters how we put that into the world. Now, we need to be responsible. Now, we'll say this. I got to say this. I've seen a lot of creators who were speaking ill of Black men, the situation, and yada, yada, coming back and going, my bad. I was wrong. Mm-hmm. I rock with this chick, and it turns out I should not have been rocking with this chick. Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of that. But I've also seen a lot of creators who will remain nameless, because I ain't trying to start nothing, because that's the negativity I'm talking about, who are still like, no, but y'all don't understand. And I'm like, guys, the feds are involved.
Yeah, like
the feds are involved.
It's not much.
Just let them deal with it at this point.
Yeah, it's
not. You're a YouTuber. You have no idea beyond what the feds know. You don't know more than them at this point. So just chill out.
Yeah.
Like the fact that we're doubling down lets me know that as a culture, we ain't there yet.
Yeah.
I want to put it out to them. I want to put it out to the world.
Yeah.
Where do you think this situation leaves us? Now that we're going into 2024 and we gotten a good start, this is the top of 2024 and this is what we got.
Yeah.
So where do you think it leaves us as a community?
Yeah.
And where do you think we need to go from here in order to move forward and be better together?